Most international fans, especially female fans, would agree that one of the biggest reasons they fell for K-pop boy groups is how refreshingly different these idols are from the men they encounter in their daily lives. And the one who particularly stands out as the perfect example of this is none other than Jackson Wang. Jackson has been called the perfect gentleman many times because of the way he interacts with his fans. But to categorize Jackson under one label would be a little unfair because he's that one artist who embodies the face, master of all trades. Rapper, singer, songwriter, former Olympic level fencer, designer, and a global brand, this man does it all. But how does he redefine masculinity? It's simple, being a decent human being. Jackson treats everyone, including his fans, with genuine respect and kindness, proving that strength isn't about dominance but about compassion. He takes the toxic out of the equation and replaces it with gentle, showing that true masculinity is rooted in character. Jackson first stepped into the K-pop scene in 2014 as a member of GOT7 after beating 2,000 other candidates in a JYP Entertainment audition, and that too when he wasn't even planning on becoming an idol.
And they're like, do you dance? I'm like, oh, I don't, but I enjoy dancing. I was like, dance with me right now. And I had nothing to lose. I was just like, with no music, I just went like this. And I bet they were like, okay, this guy has no shame. Do you want to be a singer? To me, I had nothing to lose. I'm like, yeah, of course I want to be a singer right now. And
JYP Scout discovered him while he was playing basketball. Before music, Jackson was on track to compete in the 2012 London Olympics as a fencer.
I was preparing for London Olympics 2012. I came into JYP 2011, so I had a really hard time.
Following in the footsteps of his father, an Olympic athlete, and his mother, a world champion gymnast. He even had a scholarship offer from Stanford University.
Yes, it's true. I turned Stanford University and I turned London Olympics.
But Jackson chose his own path, and we're so glad he did. Everyone is very well aware of his music and fashion, but beyond that, Jackson Wang is simply a class act. Time and time again, he proves that he's the ultimate gentleman. During his Kuala Lumpur stop on the Magic Man World Tour, Jackson had a special tradition, bringing a lucky fan on stage to sing I Love You 3000 with him. But before choosing someone at random, he made sure to ask if they were single or taken. This small but meaningful act showed his deep respect for relationships and boundaries. Once on stage, Jackson took it a step further by offering his jacket to the fan, ensuring she was comfortable and appropriately covered. Fans couldn't help but swoon over the gesture. Most recently, a moment went viral from GOT7's Nest Fest, which proved once again how naturally caring Jackson is. During the event, a fan's top slightly came undone, and without hesitation, Jackson discreetly pointed it out, allowing her to adjust it before any cameras could catch an uncomfortable moment, leading fans to praise him for being so considerate and protective without making a big deal out of it. Now, Jackson has always been mindful of his fans even beyond concerts. A well-known moment was when he saw fans being pushed at an airport. Instead of ignoring the chaos, he immediately told security to back off and even scolded a young man who was shoving female fans.
Hey, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. They're not gonna push. Don't do this. It's okay. Calm down. Relax, guys.
When fans fell, Jackson and his members helped them up, proving that he would never tolerate mistreatment, no matter where he was. Jackson going viral for being chivalrous isn't something new, but it's not just his fans who are on the receiving end of his kindness. One moment that still makes his fans emotional is when Jackson visited an elderly home and met a grandmother who washed her own feet. Without hesitation, Jackson offered to do it for her, even celebrating the opportunity with a joyful cheer. At events and award shows, Jackson has always been careful to ensure his female colleagues feel safe. A notable instance was when he subtly positioned himself to shield Red Velvet's Irene in a crowded situation, ensuring she wasn't uncomfortable or overwhelmed by cameras. His ability to read the room and act with quiet respect is one of the many ways he's redefining masculinity. In another instance, once during a performance with Jessie, Jackson had a moment where he had to put his arm around her, but instead of casually touching her, he respectfully kept his hands stiff to maintain a boundary. And in another part of the performance, he avoided looking at her chest by closing his eyes. Of course, some have argued that this was just the bare minimum, or that given their long-standing friendship, the intimate choreography may have felt a bit awkward for both of them. But none of that changes the fact that what Jackson chose to do in that moment deserves praise. However, this kindness and respect isn't just limited to female fans and idols. Once at a Nescafe event, unexpected rain started pouring down, and while most people rushed to cover themselves, Jackson's first instinct was to make sure the staff and attendees were okay. Even as he stood drenched in the rain, he reassured everyone that he was fine and urged them to stay safe. He is always mindful of his fans' comfort, whether it's offering his jacket to a fan on stage or making sure fans aren't embarrassed in any situation. He never misses an opportunity to make others feel at ease. At another event, a male fan was being aggressively pushed aside by security while trying to take a selfie with Jackson. Instead of ignoring him, Jackson stopped, took the phone himself, snapped the picture, and handed it back. It's a small act, but one that shows his respect for every fan, regardless of gender. But what truly sets him apart is how Jackson openly expresses emotions, affection, and gratitude, breaking away from outdated ideas of masculinity. He proves that being strong doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but embracing them. Whether it's crying during heartfelt moments or speaking about mental health, he uses his platform to show his real, vulnerable, and authentic self. He even constantly talks about the sacrifices his mother made for him, making sure she knows how much he appreciates her, proving to the world that expressing emotions, which is often discouraged for men, is not just okay, it's essential. In simple words, Jackson Wang is a role model for modern masculinity. He demonstrates that respect, kindness, and emotional intelligence are qualities every man should strive for. By redefining what it means to be a man, he sets a new standard. Jackson takes the same open-minded approach to love and relationships. He's made it clear that he doesn't have a specific type. What matters most to him is connection, energy, and a natural vibe between two people. He doesn't believe in limiting love based on ethnicity, location, or other external factors. For him, a relationship should be built on respect, shared dreams, and a deep connection. Once again, Jackson shows that modern masculinity is about empathy, openness, and being true to oneself. Another side to Jackson, he's an unintentional comedian. You probably already knew that Jackson has a habit of saying the most random yet hilarious things, whether on purpose or completely by accident.
수지 사랑해요.
사탕 사랑해.
사탕 사랑해. 사탕 좋아해요.
좋아해.
Most recently, he may have accidentally given dating advice about white men. So Jackson was recently in Indonesia promoting his new album Magic Man 2. And in one interview, the host brought up the book Why Men Love Bitches, a self-help book that basically tells women not to give 100% in a relationship before commitment. Well, Jackson apparently heard something very different. He completely misheard the host, thinking she said white men love bitches, and instead of asking for clarification, he just rolled with it. Honestly, this is peak Jackson Wang's behavior, and this isn't the first time Jackson has given us comedy gold, and the best part, he doesn't even try to be funny. It's just who he is. But as we said in the beginning, Jackson Wang cannot be labeled as just one thing. A gentleman, a funny guy, an idol, a fashion mogul, because he's more than that. He's a brand. Over the years, he has built Team Wang into a global powerhouse that extends far beyond music. He founded Team Wang to create something entirely his own, free from industry limitations. What started as a music label quickly expanded into a full-fledged lifestyle brand, including everything from fashion and entertainment to creative production. Jackson's influence in fashion is also undeniable. His brand has collaborated with major fashion houses like Fendi, solidifying his status as a global fashion icon. With his international background and multilingual skills, Jackson has become a bridge between Eastern and Western markets. Brands like Cartier, Armani, and Louis Vuitton have tapped into his worldwide appeal, making him one of the most sought-after brand ambassadors. And that is how Jackson Wang redefined masculinity in not just the K-pop world but beyond it. Let us know your favorite Jackson moment in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to NOONA-K for more.